Hello again. This is Tony Wright, First Love Christian Church, or FLCC, and A.B. Wright Ministries. Hey, here we are, 90-day Bible study, day 11. We're still in Numbers, 8th chapter, 15th verse, through Numbers 21st chapter, and the 7th verse. Okay, man, here we go. Now, I may have to stop a couple of times in today's reading. Boy, these Israelites. I just have a hard time dealing with these jokers, you know? And I'm just reading it. I can't imagine what Moses had gone through. Up and down, back and forth, in and out. These people don't seem to know what they want to do, where they want to be, even who they are at times. Anyway, we left off from yesterday's reading. The Levites had just been brought forth to be cleansed and prepared for tabernacle service. So they were purified and they washed up and they made ready for service and everything. And then God reminded Moses that these Levites were to fulfill the role of Israel's firstborn, which had previously been set aside by God. Now, Moses and his crew were now in the second year from the time they left Egypt. And God had them observe this Passover. And then he cleared up some questions regarding those who might not, be able to observe Passover that they had. I don't want to get off track here, but have you ever seen anything like this? Where people have all these questions, but then they have no intention whatsoever of complying with the answer. Then why in the name of sanity are they asking all those questions? Anyway, God got that one straight too. Now the Bible says, somebody say that. From the time that the tabernacle was put in place, that there was a cloud that covered it by day and the appearance of fire by night. Boy, look at this right here. In the daytime, when the sun is at its hottest there in the desert, God protects it, cools it with a cloud. Then at night, and with there being no vegetation, nothing to hold the heat end of the day, right? It gets kind of cool at night in the desert, believe it or not. So God covered it with a pillar of fire at night. And all the while, the time that they were on their journey, they followed this cloud. Now, when the cloud moved, they moved. When the cloud stayed, they stayed. If it was in camp, they were in camp. It didn't matter, if it was for hours, if it was for days. In fact, the Bible says that whether it was 2 days, a month, or a year, it didn't matter. Whether the cloud moved during the daytime or at night. When the cloud moved, they moved. Now, Israel took its cues from God for movement. And God told Moses that they were to make some trumpets, and they were to be used to assemble the leaders, or sometimes the whole congregation, or to move people out to battle, and it was to be used for observance of feasts. So here in this second year after leaving Egypt, the people set out on this journey en route to their promised land. Each house was moving out, moving from this place in Sinai. Now, the cloud had gone forth and rested in the wilderness of Paran. Did you recognize that place, by the way, Paran? Remember after the birth of Isaac, when brother Abraham put Hagar out, and the Bible said that Ishmael grew up and dwelt in the land of Paran. What did I tell you? This barren wife, handmaid thing is a generation of nightmare. Anyway, the ark had gone out about 3 days' journey, it said, beyond where they were camped. And then, I know it was hard to believe, but the people complained. And the word says that God's anger was kindled. And I knew when I saw that, things were probably not going to go very well. Okay, so God smoked some of the people in the perimeter of the camp. And when I say smoke, God burned them up as in flames. And then some of the same ones that had been complaining started crying to Moses then. So Moses prayed to God, and God shut down the fire. And the people stopped complaining, right? Huh? Uh-oh, my bad. That's right. They kept right on complaining. Actually, crying. Who's going to give us meat to eat? We remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt. Oh, and the cucumbers, and the melons, and the onions, and the leeks, and the garlic. But now, no. All we have is this manna. And Moses, he was standing there listening to these people in the tent doors crying openly. Now, mind you, They had gone out and gathered manna, fixed it, and had eaten it. But here they are crying. Moses was upset. But more importantly, God was upset. Now, I know it doesn't, matter at all, but I'm a little upset just reading about it, Have you ever seen anything like that? People have something, it works just fine, but they're crying for something else. Never seen that, huh? Not with clothes, or shoes, or a job, a car. How about a house? Nothing comes to mind, huh? Okay, well, I've seen it. But these cats right here, it's a doggone shame. They go overboard. Anyway, Moses kind of lost his composure, and he sprang a leak. Boy, he said, why have you put this on me? What did I have to do with all these people? Why are they put on me? I didn't give birth to these jokers. Am I expected to nurse them and carry them into their promised land? How am I supposed to get meat for all these people? And they always come crying to me. I can't take this. It's too much. So God took care of it again. But this time, boy, this was a classic fix. Now, God had Moses bring the 70 elders of Israel to the tabernacle, and he empowered those 70 to be able to share some of the responsibility, for the people. And as for the fish, well, he said, prepare the people to eat fish tomorrow. And he told them that they wouldn't just eat fish for a day, or 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, but for a whole month until it came out of their nostrils and they despised it, since they despised what God had given them so much. What? Listen, this brought back a memory of an episode I had in basic training. I used to love Three Musketeers until I got caught with a bag and the drill sergeant made me eat the whole bag. I don't think I've eaten a Three Musketeers since. So then Moses asked God, how is he going to be able to keep providing these people with meat every day, though? And God answered, can I paraphrase? Okay, God said, do you know who you're talking to? Boy, God sent a wind and quails blew in. Now these quails were stacked at least 3 feet high, and the people gathered quail all day, all night, and all the next day. And when they started eating them, God sent a plague, and all the greedy needy in that crew, they died. That's enough, right? Nope. Next thing you know, Miriam and Aaron were complaining. Are you kidding me? His brother and sister? Yep. As they say, the call is coming from inside the house. Boy, I tell you, seems like they don't like Moses' wife. So here they are. So you think God only speaks to you? You don't think that he speaks to us too? But Moses was taking it, him being the youngest and all. But God wasn't having it. Hey, Moses, Aaron, Miriam, meet me in the tabernacle. Uh-oh, somebody's going to the woodshed. Boy, this tabernacle is getting a workout. So God told them, look, if somebody is a prophet, I'll speak to them in dreams. But Moses, I speak to him directly in plain language. And he reflects my image. So why do you even have his name in your mouth? When God left, Miriam was hit with leprosy. Boy, Aaron started singing. You would have thought Aaron had learned his lesson with the calf, right? So here goes Moses praying to God again. But God is just not feeling the cats at all right now. So God told Moses, look, dude, even if her father had just spit in her face, she would have had to endure 7 days of shame. So she is going to be out of the camp for 7 days. God is through playing games. I'm just trying to tell you. Hoo-wee. So the people had the whole movement until Miriam finished, her sentence. Boy, you do the crime, you do the time. Listen, Moses sent out 12 men to check out the promised land. And they needed to check out everything and report back. What? Boy, this is real tactical movement right here. These 12 men did what we used to call in the military a recon. So they went through the surrounding area. They spent 40 days spying things out. And then when they returned, they told Moses, and they said, we were able to see the land you sent us to. We saw everything, and sure enough, it's flowing with milk and honey. They brought back this big string of grapes and fruit. They said, but the people are big and strong, and the city has big, tall walls, and You would have to deal with the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amalekites. But Caleb said, hold up. We need to go up there and take our land. We're more than able to take it. But all the other dudes were saying, oh, the people are too powerful. They're too big. And with that, oh boy, here we go again. The people are back to the same thing. Why did you have to bring us out of Egypt? I wish we could have just died there. Or we could have just died in the desert. But you had to bring us here for someone to kill us with swords and run us through. It would have been better for us to just go back to Egypt. But Joshua and Caleb, they were trying to convince them that they could go take the land. So they told the congregation that the Lord was with them and that there was nothing to fear. But then the people just wanted to stone them. They weren't believing it. They weren't hearing it. And God was upset. He asked Moses, how long are these people going to keep acting like this? With all the miracles they've seen, with all the things I've done for them, will they ever believe? I'm going to smite them and disinherit them. Whoa, dude. Smite? Smite? Boy, when you hear the word smite, just know something is going to happen. The last people that he put the smite on were the Egyptians. And now Israel is about to get some smite. You know what I'm saying? Now Moses, he tried to talk God out of it, but God was already set against this foolishness. So he told Moses, after everything I've shown them, and they still provoke me 10 times and not listen to what I've said, that's it. All these whiners and complainers will die here in the desert. And the children will spend a year in this desert for every day that those 12 men spent checking out the land. For those 40 days, they're going to spend 40 years. Oh my goodness. So God saved Joshua and Caleb. But the naysayers, now they were smitten right away out of those group of men. And then when Moses told the people what was going to happen now, wandering in the desert for 40 years, dying in the desert, then they got up the next morning trying to take their hind ends into the promised land. Moses told them not to because the Lord would not be with them. But no, they went anyway. Moses stayed back with the ark. I would have too. And the Amalekites and the Canaanites came down from the hill, and boy, did they take a beat down. Look, next thing you know, 3 dudes from the family of Reuben, led by Korah, carrying the tabernacle, managed to get 250 of the most powerful men from the tribe, from the congregation, and they challenged Moses. Basically, same old, you think you're better than everybody else. And God was ready to play wipe out again. But here goes Moses and Aaron praying for intervention again. So God, he minimized the battle damage on this one. So at first, those dudes and their families were swallowed up by the earth alive. Earth opened up, whoop, in they go, right? Then God consumed the other 250 that he had gathered up with flames. Boy, I told you, God is not playing with these people any longer. Just to make it clear who he had chosen, God had a leader from each tribe bring their rod. And God told him that he would make the rod of the person that he selects blossom, right? And after it was Aaron's rod that bloomed, only he and his seed were only ones that could offer incense in the tabernacle after that. So when the children of Israel came to the desert of Zin, Miriam died there in this place called Kadesh, right? Now, after Moses buried his sister, the people would, one might think that they offered condolences and support to Moses, right? No, that didn't happen. They jumped on him again about not having water. Look, is it just me? I have a hard enough time dealing with them complaining. But it's not just the complaining. They're complaining about the same thing. And they keep saying the same thing over and over and over. Man, this time though, God told Moses, take the rod and go out and speak to the rock. And the rock would provide water for the people. Hey, you've heard of getting water from a rock, right? Yep, this is it. So God told Moses and Aaron that it was time for Eleazar, Aaron's son, to become the high priest. So the 3 of them had to go up to Mount Or, and Moses was, to strip the garments off of Aaron and put them on Eleazar. Then, Aaron was to die there on Mount Or. So the Canaanites after that came against Israel, and they took some of the Israelites captive. So the Israelites vowed to God and pleaded to him to deliver the Canaanites into their hands. Boy, just as soon as they had defeated the Canaanites, what in the world? I mean, I really just don't get it. Just that quick. They started complaining again. Water, bread. How many times have we heard this? Water, bread. So God sent fiery serpents among the people to bite them. And the people were dying. So now they run to Moses. What? Look, this is like a bad movie, Groundhog Day or something. I don't know. Moses, pray to the Lord so he would take away the serpents from us. Boy, I just got to stop. This stuff is about to send me over the edge. but we have to keep reading, and keep checking out your favorite social media platform. And don't forget, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. FLCC, we're taking ministry back to the first love. Peace.